All right. Would you like to tell us what mod we will be discovering today?
Well, today we're going to be playing through a new mod that I'm releasing for Morrowind May Modathon 2021. This is a new companion mod that I've been working on for a while now, called Kolka the Wolf.
At your service, Outlander.
And to find Kolka, I am going to Cool. That's still the place to go to get started?
Yes, that's correct.
Good. So carry on. I was just making sure I was going the right place.
I am blessed to be at your service, Outlander.
So what about this beast companion? How different is she from previous beast companions of yours?
Well, compared to my two earlier beast companions, this companion is a little more oriented towards the fighting part of the spectrum as opposed to the carrying part of the spectrum. She's a little less tanky, a little more
bitey. I don't know.
A little bit more protective.
Yeah. So, fighting companion. All right. And if I ask around, maybe I'll get some information about her.
You may need to ask around a little bit, but there should be a rumor involved. If you go into the latest rumors, and it's a random chance.
Well, there we go. There's a good chance that vampires have set up shop in an old Allen ancestral tomb again. We had an adventurer, some Nord from Solstheim, with or without a shirt, who knows, and her pet wolf come through saying they would check it out. That was some time ago, and nobody has seen or heard from them since. May want to be careful at night, Outlander. I am fearless, because completely strong. Can you tell me in a non-Morrowind fashion the shortest way to the tomb?
Let's see. Well, first you want to go to the Siltstrider, and then you want to head up to the Ashlander camp, the outcast Ashlander camp. Then you want to take a right, and then you want to go up the road a little. Oh wait, you said a non-Morrowind way.
Is that this tomb right there? Because that'd be good. I'm going towards the bridge, I think. I'm sorry, you were... Yeah, I'm not taking the right path, am I?
Did you take a right at the Ashlander camp, or did you take a left?
I didn't see the Ashlander camp just yet. Also, adventuring at night. Looking for places.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Alright. So, Siltstrider is right here.
So, head up towards the mountains, and...
Oh, I see. That the two little Ashlanders up there.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
And then, rather than going and chatting with them, you'll want to take a right.
Take a right. Okay, so they are here. So you want me to take this path?
Yes.
Alright. Taking the path. Alright, excellent. Can you tell us about the inspiration to make Kolka? If you see I'm straying from the path, just tell me. Oh, the husband looking for his wife. I have spent hours looking for that idiot. Hours, sorry. Now I find him without even looking. Allen ancestral tomb. Here we are. Okay, let's go. Oh yes, I'm very, very fast, Matt, because my character is completely OP. That's why right now I fear nothing and no one, and I even give myself a wondrous weapon just in case. Wow, feels good to be OP, let me tell you that. I never have fights that easy. Ever. Okay, go away, vampires. We're looking for a wolf. That's what we want. That would be the dead. No, that's a dead vampire. Oh. I am now a vampire. Brilliant. Just my luck. What is
Luckily, there's a shrine right there.
Yeah. What is the level of the enemies here?
About level 5. They're actually the vanilla enemies. If you come to this tomb in the base game, it's a lot smaller, and there's 5 vampires. All the ones you just killed, and a Nord that is very similar to this one that I changed for the purposes of the mod.
So you've also increased the size of the tomb. Yay!
Oh yes, it's horribly small. It's maybe a fifth of this size.
A fifth of that?
Very much a rush. Very much a rush job on Bethesda's part.
There's been some of it. So I should say that when you get the mod, very much like Spot Once Upon a Time, you get to choose what color you want your wolf to be, and I took the snow wolf, but you can have a brown wolf or a black wolf, which is very cool. Kolka Iron Fang. And we have her bone. Oh, right. So she has a lot of commands. So what can she do?
A little bit of everything, really. Now, if you look at the command list, you have a couple of different things you can toggle. You can toggle whether or not she warps back to you when you're fighting. That's when you have your hands out or your sword equipped or what have you. By default, she'll just hither off all the way to the opponent if you don't set her to warp back to you suddenly. It's to keep her from aggroing on something far off in the distance, like a cliff racer or a rat or something, and just going wherever.
Yeah, that's happened to me. Companions that just take off and I just go, well, I'll see you back in Balmora, okay? And then I never see them again, so that's super useful. So better to have the warp on her if we don't want her to just go berserk and kill everything.
Yes.
Noted. Tell her to follow me. Oh, I love hearing the sounds. Let me increase a little bit. It's gonna be the. Do you think it's played through voices or through effects? The
Do you mean the pet sounds?
Yeah.
Or it's done from the creature itself.
And she is now following me. How hard is it to lose her?
I haven't been able to tell you the truth. One of the tests that I like to do when I make a companion, I did this with Paxon and Tetra, is I'll get the scrolls of Carrion Flight off of Tar Heel and set them to follow, and then jump and turn around, and usually they'll be kind of poofing along behind me until I land.
Well, clearly, yeah. She can follow easily. And I'm going fast. But she's even faster. Good girl. What about the name, by the way? Kolka Ironfang, where does that come from?
Well, the Kolka part, it's you have to understand this whole mod is a big giant love letter to Wolf Companion Spot by Grumpy and Emma. Kolka is actually an old Nordic name for spot.
So it means spot.
So she's Spot. Yes.
She's Spot. She's the reincarnation of Spot, basically. And I wanted to give myself meat. I think red meat is something that she likes.
Hound meat. Loves Nick's hound meat.
Oh, Nick's hound. Oh, I was gonna give her rat. Oh, that's not good. She wouldn't have liked that. Okay, I am blind. Oh, it's hound meat. I'm looking for Nyx. I'm an idiot. It happens. Hound. Here we go. Oh right. Shall we take her for a fight? Those Ashlanders. Oh, rat. So how difficult was it to sort of balance her so that she would be a good companion but not too powerful?
Fairly difficult, actually.
I'd
The
imagine.
issue you run into with a lot of creature companions, at least with the script that I used to set the stats and everything, is when they're lower level, they can be a little bit too weak, but once you get higher, they can be a little bit too strong. I think I've managed to get a good balance with Kolka.
Mm-hmm.
I am hoping so. She played well with during my playtesting, but you never know. You might get into it, and it's going to be something that's going to be individual taste, I suppose.
It could be. It's true that with the creatures, like NPCs, you can make them level up with the player very easily, but creatures, they don't actually level up. So you have scripts that look at your stats and then change the pet stats accordingly. Is that how it works?
That's correct. By default, her stats, except for luck, I had to change that. Her stats are set to half of what your player stats are and twice the amount of health, up to 200 points.
Makes sense, because my character is completely cheated and I have 1,000 hit points. So right now she's basically maxed out.
She should be. If you'll if you'll talk to the companion real quick
Mm-hmm.
and go into the health menu.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a little widget in there where you can see exactly what her statistics are.
Very useful. Very, very useful. And that's maybe something that you don't have because it's kind of a new issue. Can you find out whether she's diseased or something, or you just see that her stats are down?
Well, you shouldn't have to ever worry about any sort of diseases with the companion. The problem with the creature companions is short of doing a lot of special handling. There's no real good way to tell they're diseased short of looking at their stats manually. The way that I've done Kolka and Paxon and Tetra are both this way as well, is they're completely immune to any sort of diseases. Calm diseases, blight diseases, corpus diseases, none of those can have any effect.
Good. That's very, very good. Because it is annoying, especially with older companions, and all of a sudden, Kolka, you do it! You go, girl. Silly red guard going with fist against Kolka. Well, even though she's quite strong right now, it's not like she obliterates everything, so that's good. But yeah, she's getting there.
Well, that's where the Iron Fang part of the name comes into. If you looked at the poor young lady who was Kolka's former mistress. Her last name was Ironfang. Um, there's a little ancestral sword that's in that room where you got Kolka from. There's all her worldly possession kind of piled in one corner.
Didn't look.
And
So there was some loot to find there. I went straight for the wolf. Okay, good. So she seems to be able to handle her own without being completely overpowered. So that's really good. So she follows well, she fights well, but she's not too strong. There were more things in there. Give Kolka a treat, check the stats, and turn on durable mode. What is that?
well, durable mode is it's basically a little toggle where you turn it on and it sets your health to some ridiculous amount. I think it's like 10,000 or a little bit under that. And every few frames, it will set her health back to maximum. And of course, it changes some other things too. It makes it to where she can't really hit anything and can't really be hit by anything. And basically, it's just there so that if you're going through somewhere that has a lot of environmental hazards, say there's a lot of lava, or you're going through, say, Sotha Sill, or there's a lot of things
with
that
those stupid blades.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's just so you can be going through there and you don't turn around and, oh, oops, my wolf ran into a grinder, and now I don't have a wolf. And I like that wolf. So, now it's only something you can use when the companion's at full health. So,
So
it's not... Oh,
I couldn't...
it's not a...
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I couldn't be in a fight and go, oh no, she's gonna die quick! Durable mod, and that's it, she's saved.
Yeah, it's not something you can go, oh, well, durable mode. It's not something you can use to save her from that, or something you can use to where, oh, well, I'll just turn this on and she can kill everything for me and not have to worry about anything. Basically, I tried to balance to where it's as useful as possible, but not cheesy.
So when she's in durable mode, she still fights, though.
She still fights. I mean, there's not really a good way to... Again, this is a problem with creature companions.
Yeah, remember.
But
we
there's
talked
not a
about
good
it.
way to make them stop combat completely and not do anything. I mean, you can, but the way that the engine handles stop combat for creatures is it basically stops combat for everything. So nothing would attack anything because it'd just be spamming stop combat constantly.
Okay, so durable mode noted. I am now in the water where I get attacked by slaughterfish like an idiot Breton that I am. However, Kolka is much smarter than me. So how does that work?
Well, water handling for creatures, with some exceptions like slaughterfish and droog, is really bad.
But not for Kolka.
Well, there's a way to get around it. Basically, the way that I've done it is I give them a levitation ability if you're a certain distance under the water, and if you're a certain distance not below the water but swimming, then they have water walking. So they'll always either just kind of walk along on the surface of the water, or have levitation on, which functionally means they're walking underwater instead of trying to swim, because creatures can't swim.
So she will never what's the word? Oh my goodness. She will never sink and drown, that's the word. She will never drown.
No.
Good.
There's no way for the companion to drown. she has script level water breathing too, so nothing to be concerned about there.
Okay.
Go swimming with your new dog in confidence.
Yes, I like that. Is there any way she could pull me out of the water if I... Can you script her to be a proper rescue dog, please? I feel I need it. That is very, very cool. So
I'll
she's
think about
swimming.
it.
Yeah? But you know, give her the little, what's that, like a little barrel there with the whiskey or whatever, the rum, whatever it is that rescue dog used to have. A bit of alcohol to wake someone up and warm them up. Okay, very smart. What if I levitate? She's going to levitate with me, I assume?
She'll levitate along with you, yes.
That's one smart wolf. Essentially, she's smarter than most of my characters already.
She's smarter than the average Nord, I'll put it that way.
We can say it like that, indeed. All right, let's take a look at the rest. So we've seen health, we've seen the durable mode. I have some hound meat, which she loves, so I can give her a treat. Even the little numbing sound. That animation means that she's healed.
The little howling animation with the restoration fanfare, that will heal her up about 3 hit points.
Okay.
Now it does also there to kind of combat the whole issue with bone walkers and damaging stats and everything. If you ever notice her stats are damaged, you can give her a treat and she'll be right as rain. It's just like treats. Oh well, all these curses and stuff. Well, I don't care about those.
Maybe I should start eating hound meat. It only works for her, doesn't it?
Unfortunately, yes.
Bummer. Hey, Max, welcome back. Okay, so that's really good. So if we're not entirely sure that she's all well after those bone walkers, so giving her a treat. Light. This is the same feature as the other ones, right? Kolka.
Yes.
Lights on. I mean, we already knew that she was really clever. Now she's also really bright. I'm very proud of that one. I actually really like that feature. It's not the most realistic thing, but there's a cave. Brilliant. But when
It's
you're
not
in
the
a
most
cave,
realistic thing, but when you're somewhere dark, and especially with the other 2 companions, which are designed as beasts of burden, where you're going to have maybe a lot of important stuff. If you play with low gamma, then it beats the heck out of trying to look through the dark and be, where the heck is this creature that has my torches?
Yes. You can do it, Kolka. She's very strong. Oh, crap. Didn't see. Okay, so she's very bright. That'll help though. The Ogrim Titans and their huge bound box. Here we go. Good girl. So to compare, Kolka, lights off. No, it's not the darkest place ever. It's not so bad. But it's better with Kolka showing the light. Definitely. Like, I can't even see her. Where are you, Kolka? There you are. Good girl. The sound is giving me some huge spot flashbacks. Which is the point, obviously. Okay, brilliant. Lights we love. Move. Shift it. Well, that's not very nice. So, would you please be so kind and move a little bit, Kolka? That is a sort of a traditional companion feature, isn't it?
It is. It's very nice to have when one of the reasons I keep that is when you're levitating, there are times when the companion will warp to you, and of course, if you're going straight up, then the companion will warp straight up into you, and you can get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So you use that, and she'll wander off a little bit and unstick you.
Very useful. And Telesia, it's not menacing look, she's smiling. It's not her fault that she's got, fangs. Iron fangs, no less. No, she's smiling. It would be really nice if there was a painting animation. Oh, can she do tricks? Yes. Let's do tricks. I still need Nick's hand meat for the tricks, right?
Yes.
Sit, Kolka, sit. Good girl. And now say woof. Okay, no, it doesn't work. Menacing look can be a good thing. Scares away those nasty bandits. Definitely. Definitely. Lay down. Good girl. This will be so nice with a mod like Ashfall, where you can build up your camp. You can have your dog sit next to you or close to the tent, something like that. Play dead? Oh no. Okay, we'll try it, but... Oh no, that's just too realistic. Oh, it's a good thing it didn't last. 4 pieces of meat. Heal. And she comes right at my feet. Wow. She's better trained than many dogs, actually. Very nice. The Oscar goes to Kolka. I think so as well. It's very impressive. Oh, right. Are there any important tips to playing with Kolka? Or useful things to know?
The main thing I can think of is this companion's pretty animation and sound heavy. If you have any problems, say if she gets stuck in an animation or something like that, you can use the magic chew bone to summon her, and that'll automatically fix anything like that.
Oh, and I think you mentioned that also tells her to stop fighting.
That's correct. If you get her and she's after something, and you want her to stop going after it, hopefully before she gets into trouble, you can just use the chew bone to make her stop.
Looking for something to attack and then tell her to not attack. It's just when you want enemies that... There we go. Oh, I'm sorry, Scrib. You're needed for demonstration. Okay, then that's it. Oh, there we go. She's fighting a rat. Stop it, Kolka. Good girl. Wow, she's really well behaved. I changed my mind, Kolka. You can fight the rat. No, I'm kidding. Well, of course, unless the rat comes to us, then it's a different story, isn't it? You said that you were working on the bone wolf. Do you think that's going to happen, or that's still up in the air?
Well, it'll definitely be happening. It's just the Bone Wolf is actually kind of going to be a demake almost. The model and the sound effects and everything else just aren't there like they are with the live wolves. For instance, Kolka can do a lot of tricks like sit, lay down, all that, which you just showed off a moment ago. And the bone wolves don't have any of that. They basically have the little thing. Well, they'll stop and look from side to side, and they'll howl, and that's pretty much it.
So
And
basically, it's either we get the terrifying looks or the really smart wolf.
well, essentially, I mean, the bone wolf version will still follow and everything. I'll be using all the same scripts for that, but there won't be nearly the level of commentary. Uh, I can't really reuse the commentary from the live version
What
because
brings
it'd
you out
be a
in
little
this
jarring
mess?
if you're rolling around with an abomination of nature following you, and you randomly talk to somebody and they say, "Oh, your dead dog thing is really cute."
Yeah, that's just not gonna work. In fact, hang on, that actually complicates things quite a bit because necromancy is, well, frowned upon uh, from most factions, if not completely outlawed. So I can imagine that having a bone wolf companion and walking around town with that would actually be a problem if you want to
It
roleplay
would
it.
be an issue in lore, yes. Now, if you're playing some sort of outlaw necromancer and you're smart about telling your undead wolf thing to hide somewhere, then yeah, I can see that working. But just strolling around Vivek, going about your business and not expecting the ordinators to go, "You're going to jail,"
Yeah.
is probably a little bit of a stretch.
You need to give Kolka some disguise. Like, Kolka, put your fake fur on so you look like a proper wolf, and we don't get into trouble. It's just throwing ideas there. As you guys can see, I've picked up Paxon. Now, Paxon in terms of functionality does more or less the same thing as Kolka, doesn't it?
They have virtually the same functionality. The main differences being Kolka's really more geared towards the fighting part as opposed to the carrying part. She has maybe a third of Paxson's maximum carrying capacity.
Indeed. Indeed. So she can carry things, but not as much. And that's not where you want her, is it? Wow, guys, come over here, it's dark. And I'm heading towards, there's the queen, that's really close. Aha! And now we have completed the trio. Paxon, Kolka, and Tetra. Tetra will have the same thing. Tetra doesn't have the light.
Tetra doesn't have the light, unfortunately. It's a little noticeable with Paxson too. It's not really an issue with Kolka, but the light function on the Pekor model causes them to just bob their heads very noticeably. It's not something I can fix. It's an animation issue with the model. I am not really sure if there's a way for me to fix it. I had thought about maybe just getting a lantern or something and just adding a light source directly instead of using the
The spell.
light spell effect,
Mhm.
which might work, but that can cause issues by itself. If you have a light source on a creature, they don't really know how to hold it or anything, so it can cause them to loop combat animation sounds. So they'll growl and pretend to be hitting stuff.
But
Now,
it's just the
Murlord
light.
was able to fix that with his Guar Whisperer mod, but he's done a lot of editing to the Guar model. And I don't have that capability myself.
Well, and not only that, I mean, sure, if you want to compare Merlot squares from the Guar Whisperer that are absolutely amazing. Like you can play fetch with your Guar, they level up, they can do all kinds of things, and it's gorgeous and it's brilliant. But that is with a lot of help from Lua, whereas those 3 companions do not require the script extender or Lua at all, meaning it's available to all the players. And
That's right. You can use these 3 companions if you're an open Morrowind player as well.
which is really good. I mean, personally, I know if I was playing on open Morrowind, I would be so disappointed to not be able to have smart companions following me. And I just want to go indoors because the weather is disgusting. Now we're in Seidanin actually, and I know that for Paxon. When did you make Paxon? Was it Modathon 2018? Am I remembering that right?
You are remembering that right. It was Modathon 2018.
And Tetra was a year later? Is that a yearly thing? A new pet every second year?
Yeah, it seems to have worked out that way. It's just they're fun they're fun mods to work on, and people seem to like them. So I'll probably keep doing them going forward. Eventually, I hope to have some kind of companion for everybody. Really,
I'd like that. I mean, now we have the choice between Paxon, Tetra, and soon Kolka, but. Like, I create a character and I come out of, the census office and I see Paxon and I go, I'm sorry, Paxon, but I'm a Khajiit. We're just not going to get along. Just no, and I have to leave Paxon there and it goes squeak, squeak, and that breaks my heart. So, yes, definitely to have different types of companions so this is Paxon. Different types of companion to go with different types of characters. No, not Paxon. That is ideal. Is there a particular creature that you'd like to do next? I know you're still working on Kolka, but
I haven't really decided yet. I've been kind of looking at some of the old creatures that the modder Kate did back in the early aughts. There's
Kate's
pack
creatures.
donkeys. There's a couple of dog companions which I decided against because the
models.
the models and the animations are extremely dated.
Yes, unfortunately. And there's something wrong with the animation, I know, because there's also a fox that uses the same animation, and the idol of the creature, they just go like this, sort of nodding sideways. It's very distracting. And I mean, even from that screenshot, we can see that the model and the textures applied to it are, I mean, I've used them, but not in a long time. In fact, I've never downloaded them from the Nexus. It was Planet Elder Scrolls. So the dog's not happening.
Not unless there's a lot of demand for it. I had actually initially kind of thought about doing, since I've already got the 3 wolf models of Kolka, I was thinking, oh, well, I can just do some of Kate's dogs along with it. And then I actually got into the guts of the model, and I changed my mind very rapidly.
Unfortunately, yes. Kate did a lot of creatures, though. That was really, really cool. Working with Gags. I'm trying to see if we have better picture of the dogs. No, it's the same. Oh, yes, I know. There's no space on my computer. No need to remind me. Oh well, we can see them a bit better. There was, I think I showed you that really old model from Melchior.
The wolf model or the bristleback with the
that one.
pack model on it.
Mm-hmm. What was it called? Melchior's Malchior's creatures. Yeah. That's the warg, and I don't know that it would be more interesting than what you have already. But a pet wave runner. Maybe not. A sea cat. Maybe not. There we go. The pack boar. That could be something. Though the textures are a bit dated as well. Like vanilla ones, I think.
I'd have to look and see how the model's constructed. I'm fairly certain that it's using vanilla textures, and the screenshot's just really bad. If you were to load it up and then check it with something like intelligence textures loaded, it'd probably look a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's true that even if we look at Kolka right now, that is not the vanilla textures, but because I have a lovely replacer, Kolka looks very HD. Oh, that reminds me, there's actually a number of models to choose from for each of these companions, isn't there?
Well, for Kolka there is. Also for Tetra. Paxon has the standard model, and then there's an optional HD model download that comes from, I believe he's a Russian modder named EJ12. He did a lot of the symphony stuff, which I think looks really fantastic, but some people don't like. I'm not sure why.
I mean, that's the one I use. In fact, I like to have my rats looking completely normal, my vanilla pack rats looking completely normal, but Paxon, he's the only one looking so dashing for a rat. So yeah, so you can choose this one, or you can keep the, yep, that's a pack rat. You can keep the vanilla one. I can see how you were like, okay, you want to screenshot people. Here's one. It's a pack rat. What else do you want? It's true the models, the vanilla models for the pack rat are some serious kid bashing. Also a pack rat. So Paxon, we can choose between this very sexy looking rat. We can have the vanilla one. Tetra, what are the options with Tetra?
Well, with Tetra, you have the white guar skin. The lore behind her is Tetra is basically what would be considered a runt. She was the runt of the litter, and she's albino. So you have the white guar skin, and then there's another optional ESP file where you can have her just use the standard guar skin. So she'll use any replacers for guars you might be using, instead of using the vanilla skin with the white coloring.
So she can look like that, or like this, but much smaller and with whatever texture replacer you're using.
That's right.
I like the fact that she's so small. I mean, I love my guars, I love my pack guars, but they're big. Like with Merlot's guars, if I want to cast a spell on them, I have to get like this close, with really my face on their face to be able to catch a spell on touch. So a cute little guar is nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the smaller guars are a lot easier to deal with and get around. I mean, you've got a picture pulled up right now that kind of shows the difference in sizes, and as you can see, the vanilla guars they're just huge.
They really are. And Tetra, as well as Paxon, can go indoors, whereas a full-size guar in a cave or in a mine would just be impossible.
It the size very quickly becomes an issue once you get into closer quarters. Actually, that's one other feature I guess I should mention for all three. You can tell them to stay outside if you don't want them to come inside with you. There's a toggle for it.
But it's raining. I'm so sorry, Kolka. It's gonna be in move, I assume. No. Follow.
Yes, it's in the follow menu.
Well, you know what? You stay outside, but you can run around. Go hunt rats, maybe? I don't know. Paxon, follow. You just stay outside. So right now my wolf is not following me, my guar is following me, but the rat will stay outside. Brilliant. Good. But at the same time, I mean, it's good to have the feature, obviously, but they're so small. Yeah, she can follow around pretty well.
Must be going crazy.
Ho, Outlander.
Talking to
What's
myself.
your pleasure?
Pleasure to see my Paguar, huh? Don't touch her. Yeah, that's a very nice feature. Oh, you're a little stuck there. Well, interiors for creatures is in fact, even for NPCs, when you have an NPC that walks around here, they get stuck everywhere very quickly. And Paxon? I need to talk to Paxon again.
You can talk to him to reset it. Of course, if you use the... Actually, I don't remember if... I think I changed that. If you use the summoning item, he should go ahead and come inside with you.
They
I've never actually done that.
Well, let's
I
take
pretty
a look.
much always keep my companions following me, pretty much wherever I go.
Okay.
I mean, that's the whole point.
Paxon, I changed my mind. You can come inside. No, he cannot go inside.
Interesting.
However, I do remember that... Now he's following me. Good boy. Good boy. We didn't talk about what happens when I'm sneaking and I activate my companions, my beast companions.
Well, that's actually a feature that a lot of people apparently don't know about. I guess I didn't document it well enough. With all three companions, if you sneak and activate them, then it toggles whether they will follow you or whether they'll wait for you. Now, they'll just wait right there. They won't wander around or anything. They'll just wait in place.
There. There is a line for Paxon in the middle of everything, but Tetra doesn't say anything about it. Oh no, she has a line as well. So let's try that, shall we? Not sneaking, I am talking. But sneaking, Paxon is waiting. Kolka is waiting. Tetra is waiting. I can always summon them again. In case I forgot where I parked them, which happens to me quite often. And then sneak activate, and she's back with me. That is such a useful feature, honestly.
Greetings.
Yes.
What shall we talk about?
Well, let's talk about Paxon and Tetra and Kolka, if you are not too afraid. What a tease, those NPCs. They go like, hey, what shall we talk about? And then they just walk off. Loser. Sorry. So yeah, that's a really, really cool feature.
Keep moving.
Well, I like it. It's fairly useful. It saves a little bit of menuing.
How do you do?
We haven't talked about this yet. The jump feature, where you can jump and activate them, and you'll swap places between you and the companion.
Okay, let's try that. So if I jump, and the thing is, my acrobatics is really high, so let's change that, shall we? to a reasonable 35. Yeah, I don't think I did that right. Ah. Because now if I jump... Didn't I do that properly? No, I didn't say. I'm terrible. Like, I should know how to use the console, but I just don't cheat often enough. That's how it is. Player. Set acrobatics. There we go. Much better. Yes, thank you, I'm sure. No, I know the game. I know it well. Jump activate. Woohoo! That is actually super useful because typically when you get stuck, it's like super narrow. I'm good, thank you. How are you doing, guys? I'm sorry, we're talking about the mods and I'm kind of ignoring you a little bit. However, if you have any sort of questions about those companions, about other mods by Tizzo, about any mod, just shoot, you know. Where was I going to say? Yes, typically it's when you're in a cave or in a tomb or in a corridor, and you don't have the space to maneuver. I don't know what is the name of that game. It's a kids game where one of them would sort of hunch back and the other one would jump over them. What is the name? If you see the game that I mean. In French we call it saute-mouton. Up. Up.
I know the one you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it.
Anyone in chat knows? I have no idea what it's called in English because, you know.
There we go. Leapfrog.
Leapfrog. Thank you, Swiss. Well, you can play leapfrog with your pets. I like that. It's actually... And the way... Like, come on. From the smallest to the biggest one. Let's do that. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Very good. Very good. Yay. Your turn, guys. No, maybe not. This doesn't work in a distance. No, it wouldn't because I wouldn't be able to activate them, you know? Like if I'm far from anything, I can't really interact with it. Unless, of course, I have telekinesis?
You could
No,
do
hopscotch is different, I
telekinesis.
think. Yeah, exactly, with telekinesis. Let's try
You could
that.
do that, or I guess if you want to cheat, you could use force greeting and greet the companion and go through the option in the move menu. That option's in there too.
No, we don't want to cheat. No, but I will cheat myself telekinesis. Ah. Okay. My telekinesis is not nearly good enough. Oh well. Yeah, I think hopscotch is the one with the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What do we call that in French?
The numbers in the squirt? Yeah, that's hopscotch.
Yeah. La marelle. And now you know the French word. Hopscotch in French is marelle. Kolka, you're with me. Like that. Don't need to enter in dialogue to tell your companion to follow you. I mean, honestly, between the fact that they follow really, really well, the fact that you can very easily tell them to follow you or stay, and you have the item to summon them. Suggestion, actually, I see that you've given Kolka the Coal Wolf on self, which it's not really what it does, but it might be nice to give a fake enchantment to the other two so that they can be found very quickly.
I have thought about that. It was something the call wolf thing. Since the spell's there, it's a no-brainer to put it on the summoning item. I mean, they're set up as clothing. They could technically be enchanted if they had any enchant capacity, but I wasn't really sure what to use for a summon effect for the other two. It's something I'm considering. I'm planning on doing some updates, just minor tweak stuff here in the future. That's something that I would like to do. I just need to figure out an effect.
That would be like, because I realize how easy it is to find Kolka's bone, and it's a bone, and I tend to not have those a lot in my inventory, right? But the others, I know I always look for them. Obviously, if you have a null cascade mod, which, oh, I don't have the search bar here, yes I do, then, you know, it's reasonably easy to find things. But yeah, it would be quite nice. Obviously, there's no spell effect associated with it. So something on your to-do list when you get round to it. I think in terms of features for those, no. Aha, that's what I was gonna say. It's hard to lose them. Even if you lose them, you have those items to summon them. But if I'm not mistaken, I can talk to guards as well.
Yes, that's correct. All three of them are set up to where if you go and talk
Please,
to
by all
an
means.
actual guard class
Glory
NPC,
and honor, Emperor
there's
and
a lot of
Empire.
mods that will add, doing the air quotes, I know you can't see them,
I
guards in the level list. Those won't work because they usually don't have the guard class for whatever reason. I'm not really sure on that. But if you ask an actual guard and go to the My Wolf or My Pack Rat or My Pack War, they'll say a little blurb to the effect of your whatever it is, was it? What about it? You can ask them, have you seen it? And they'll be like, oh yeah, it's over at the Rat in the Pots or Ariel's or wherever, and it'll warp them to there. And then they'll wander around in that cell until you go and collect them.
Okay, so you're never gonna lose your pets. There's just no way. There's just no way.
Barring something extremely weird happening, you shouldn't be able to permanently lose any of these little guys now.
And then if I give them all the durable mode, they will live forever. I like that. So essentially, you have your more immersive way where you go around and you say, have you seen a cute guar? Or you have your really practical way where you just use the bone. It's you said it's an item of clothing, right? Meaning
The bone, the acorn, which is, I think it's actually a Spriggan heart or something like that. It's the closest thing I could find to an acorn in the construction set. And the drum are all set up as amulets.
So right now I have shortlisted Kolka. Shortlisted? Wow, no. quick slotted the bone, and if I use it, yeah, I can actually set it up and summon my pet at the press of a button, which is really nice.
It's pretty useful. I remember in the earlier versions of Paxon, I had them set up as just miscellaneous items, and you can't really hotkey those. So I set it up as an amulet, and there it stands.
Please, by all means. I'm listening.
Very cool. Very convenient. I think whatever sort of gameplay people like, they can use whichever way they prefer. Did I give Tetra the durable mode? I thought I did. Turn on durable mode. There we go. And now my pets are stronger than they're the new tribunal, essentially. Stronger and less killable than anyone.
if they could actually hit anything worth a darn like that, then they would be the new gods of Morrowind.
I think they are. I think they are. I don't know if I told you, but for a long while, when I was, let's go indoors because the storm. Yeah, there we go. For a very long time, when I was playing with Paxon, because at the time the other two didn't exist, Paxon was much stronger than any of my characters. So there was a suspicion that Paxon maybe was the Nerevarine and I was just a figurehead or something like that. Because he was much stronger than me. Mostly because I was very weak. So yes, obviously you don't have to use the durable mod. Like the whole point is you choose how you want to play with your creatures, how you want them to be. There you are. Paxon.
Well, I will admit, I didn't really know how to balance creatures back then. He was
Keep moving.
he was a little over the top, just a little bit, just a little bit.
How did you first come up with the idea? I mean, obviously Tetra, you had meant that they really like each other. It's cute. It's not weird. It's cute. Okay. I was gonna say yes. Obviously, when
How are you?
you made Tetra, it's because you had met Paxon before, and now Kolka. But Paxon, how did you come up with the idea of Paxon in the first place?
Well, Paxson originally was basically just one of those. You know how you'll make a kind of a throwaway mod just to have something for personal use. He was one of those mods. There was a another creature companion that I really liked. It was the Luggage by Superstar, which it's basically a reference to book series by Terry Pratchett, the Discworld series, and it's a chest, treasure chest with giant teeth and tons of little legs sticking out of it. It follows you around everywhere, and you give it stuff basically. It's a really good
mimic.
mod.
It was a mimic, right?
It was essentially an unkillable mimic that you could give stuff and it would carry it.
Oh no, the legs are gross. The legs are just so like if it was something like the Dwemer spiders with the legs, it's just so weird. But I mean that's the whole point. That's totally the Discworld universe is like that. So originally you started off wanting something like the Luggage.
I basically wanted the Luggage, but I wanted it to be kind of, sort of, if you squinted at it right, lore friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And there was actually already a Pack War version of the mod. I think Superstar actually
Beta,
used
yes.
a Pack War as the beta for it, but I didn't want a Pack War. They kind of get in the way. So I remember there's a Pack Rat model creatures from Tribunal. I'll just use one of those, and I used that. I basically changed the model, changed the IDs, tweaked a couple of the little things, and used Paxson in that form for a few months, and then stopped using it and promptly forgot about it. Fast forward to May Modifon 2018, and I was basically at the point where I'd really like to participate, but I didn't have anything to participate with, and I didn't want to really just, throw something together that year just to say, I remember, I've got that pack rat that I made 4 or 5 years ago. I can clean that up really quick and release that.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. It was all right. a couple of people downloaded it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is neat. Is it based off the luggage?" Yes, it's based off the luggage. It's a very good mod. You should try out the original. And then I had a user come along and say, "Hey, this mod's great and everything, but Paxson won't stop following me." What do you mean he won't stop following
That's
you?
a
You
good
just
thing.
tell him to stop following you. No, he really won't stop following me. And I'm like, "Oh, no, you're doing something wrong. Let me check it out in game." And sure enough, you'd tell him to wait, and he'd wait, and then you'd move a little bit, and he'd warp to you and start following you again. Um, oops.
I do remember actually one of the earlier version. Like I would walk past Paxson and tell him, sorry Paxson, I can't take you for, whatever reason my character was, blah blah blah. And then I would be around the Bitter Coast and there was Paxson. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't tell you to follow me, Paxson. And so well I had to take him along. But I remember it was something that happened like very early where Paxson just decided that he was the pack rat for me, apparently. So
Aw,
yeah,
he took shine to you.
he
He knows
did.
you're a nice person.
He imprinted on me or something. I don't know. He knew I needed help, any sort of help. And how did you name Paxson? We know Kolka comes from a Old Norse language and it means spot, which is perfect for the latest version of spot, essentially. What about Paxson?
Paxson, Paxson's name actually came out of this. I've actually got the book on my desk right here. It's this really old book that I don't even remember where I picked it up from, some thrift store. It's called How Shall We Name the Baby? And it's basically one of those baby books where you look through and it's got a list of names and what the names mean and where they come from and all of this sort of stuff. So I actually use this book fairly often when I'm trying to come up with a name for whatever character that I'm going to play for 3 days and then drop. I'll flip through it and go, oh, well, I can name my character, let's see, I can name him Mordecai. Well, that's a cool name, right? What does that mean? Oh, it's a warrior. Well, that's
Sounds
perfect.
badass, yeah.
So I'm flipping through it like, okay, so I'm doing this throwaway mod, but I want to give it a name. I don't just want it to be called Pack Rat. So let's look through here,
Yo,
and I'm
pack
looking through
rat.
it,
Shift it.
and there's the name Paxson, which means Pac-Man or Porter.
Porter.
In
No,
I
not Pac-Man.
think
Pac-Man attack, not that.
no, not Pac-Man that runs
Oh,
through
really?
mazes and eats ghosts. No, like an actual porter that you would have back in the day to carry your luggage or whatever.
So that was perfect for a pack rat.
So it is perfect for something that's basically going to be carrying your luggage.
Indeed. So what about Tetra? By the way, I hope Tetra never saw this. Poor Tetra, she'd feel quite insulted. So yeah, so how did you come around to give Tetra her name?
Oh, you're seeing the old joke that I made when I first did PAX, and
Mm.
so for Tetra, originally I was going to name her oh God, what was it, Zinnia or Zinni, basically Little Flower,
Mm-hmm.
something cute like that. But somebody pointed out that Zinni, I think I was going to do Zinni at the time, really sounds way too much like Ninny. They're going to make fun of this little thing that you're making. So I'm like, oh well, you're right. I need to change the name. And I was looking up Guar, and for whatever reason, the search engine I was using pulled up the Wikipedia article on guar gum, and I'm looking through it, and one of the ingredients is, I think, it's some chemical name, tetrahydrocycline or something like that. Um, and I'm
I
looking at.
have tetragonoloba, but that's French. But I see the tetra being part of it.
Well, it helps too that tetra basically means little fish, which is close enough to little flower, so I changed the name to Tetra. I'm kind of glad I did. It rolls off the tongue a little bit better than the old name.
Yeah, it's cute. It's really cute. I like that. I'm really curious, and it's got nothing to do with your mod. Is Danae in your book of names? Because I'm curious.
That's actually a good question. Let's see.
The suspense. It's not. Sounds like I'm not there.
No, hold on. Let's see. Here we go. Do 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 do. Let's see. Here we go.
Where did I put that?
What brings you out in this mess?
Yes, you actually are. It's let's see. The meaning of the name is God is my judge. Apparently, she was also the mother of Perseus back in the Greek.
Yeah. That's the part I knew about, and that's how I chose the name. Good. Good. All right. I had another question for you, and now it slipped my mind. Oh yes, of all the mods that you've made, which one is your favorite? Do you use all of your mods still? There's another question.
For the most part, when I make a mod, I make it because it's something that I'm actually going to use. Probably it's kind of a toss-up. I've always really liked Paxon. He's a fun little critter to use. I'd say it's a toss-up between Paxon, a house mod I did a couple of years back, yet another portable house mod, which is a little kind of magic mansion sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a nice one to use, and this one I like it because it works pretty much with any kind of character you want. With the ingredient sorter and desorter, super useful. And because it's just an empty house, you get to decorate it the way you like, and you can teleport to it, so it's super handy. I like it. It's a classic as far as I'm concerned. Do you still use it yourself?
I still have it in my load order. I mean, it's basically a free house. It gets given to you just automatically whenever you start the game with it loaded, and it's useful because it gives you some place to offload your stuff or cook some food if you use necessities of Morrowind. And yeah, I spent a lot of time on constructing it, so it's still in my load order. I'll use it every now and again. Ever since Ashfall came out, though, I've been doing the whole camping experience thing when I actually play the game.
Mm-hmm. Here's another question for you. Do you spend more time playing the game or modding the game?
Oh, oh wow, that's not even
Do you need to
a
think
hard
about it for
question.
a minute?
No, I don't really need to think about that one. At this point, the construction set basically is the game for me.
Yep.
I mean, I'll pop in game for 5, 10, 15 minutes at a stretch to test a mod, but an actual playthrough? Oh gosh. Let's see. When was the last time I actually played a character? Hold on one second.
2 if you want. Are you loading your game to see your latest save game?
Well, I'm loading up MASH real quick.
I must say I was the same, and the only thing that's allowed me to enjoy Morrowind again and to play it for, like to have an actual run with a character until the character story was stalled, was streaming and first doing the YouTube Let's Play. Before that, I was just like you, going in game was just testing a mod, either a mod that I was making or testing other people's mod, because one day I would definitely play and then I would have the mod to play. And that's a little sad.
Honestly, that's pretty much my excuse most of the time is, well, I've got this character concept and I'd like to play it, but I'd really, really kind of want to wait until X mod is updated. The last, let's see, here it is. The last time I actually played through the game to even any sort of level was 2019. I had a bard character that I was playing at the time.
Nice.
And
you gotta play more.
I do need to work on that. Let's see. I think the excuse with that one was I was waiting for the update to Bardic Inspiration to come out.
It has come out. You're in luck.
Has.
It has.
I am.
Have you checked it out already?
I've played with a little bit. It looks like a really good update to the mod. I like all the additional features and the fact that you actually have to run around and learn to play songs instead of just knowing all these songs right from the start.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really nice touch.
And the skill, actually having a performing skill that goes up and helps you level up and all that.
That's another really nice feature about it. The intention for the playthrough I'm going to do whenever I actually play through, I think I'm going to do a Nord Bard.
Like a Skald?
Kind of a Skald, basically, and have this little wolf following me around and just put every sort of economy adjuster to make items worth less money. So I basically have to play for my supper, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of roughing it in the countryside, and, well, inns are really expensive. I don't I want to go in there and play. I don't know if I'm going to make enough money to actually be able to rent a room.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to go outside and just live in my tent again. That sort of playthrough.
What one of the features that I had in Bard's Life, I had many features. Really, I don't think anyone ever reads a block of text like that, but there are that many features. But one of the things that you could play the song and you would learn them from other bards, and you would collect songs. That's not what I wanted. You play the lute, of course. You open your own inn, and I'm not gonna find it. I did have inspired directly from D&D. I had the different packages: the Skald, the Dire Singer, that's my favorite, and the Shadow Dancer, the Jester. But mostly when performing in an inn. There we go. When performing in the inn, depending on your skill and your reputation, you would get bread and a bottle of something, or you would get lodging as well. So, which is fair, I think. Yeah, if you're going to perform a whole evening in an inn or something, they should let you crash somewhere. Maybe not in their best room, but they should let you crash somewhere, I think.
No, even if it's just, yeah, you can set up your bedroll over there by the fire or something. I mean, that makes sense, unless you're some bardic hotshot that's the bardic equivalent of Pavarotti or something.
Yeah, that comes later. And this one could be fun. I think that's a mod that I'd like to update. And then I was talking to Random Pal, and it was like, yes, I want to update that too. So I'm gonna let him basically. But I like this one in a number of cities. It adds a little barn like that, and it's got hay stacks set up as beds. So essentially, if you're really low on money and you can't afford to sleep in an inn, and you're really afraid of sleeping in the wilderness, you can crash, you can squat in the barn for the night. So I quite like that.
Oh, that sounds like a really good mod. I like that.
That could really work for a bard, especially a bard that has no money. um, and like then I like your idea of making the economy like really really tough, or just take the rule where you can't sell anything. Maybe it's even possible to tweak the GMST or something, like just make selling items not possible. So the only money that you make is money that you've earned, either from performing stupid escort quests. You love to you will learn to love them. That's one of the things with what is the one? Harder barter, hard trade, whichever one you want, where it makes money really, really hard to come by. And for me, one of the benefits of that was that when there's an escort quest and it's going to pay 100 septims, it's a fortune, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the pilgrim to the shrine because 100 septims is a lot of money. So it's nice when you can't make money with anything other than actual jobs. And then you get Radiant Quests of Morrowind, where you can, kill rats, harvest mushrooms, and kill various things, and you have all kinds of little manual jobs that you can do. And your difficult life as a bard is ready for you to be lived.
Oh, definitely. And that to me, that sounds like a fun playthrough. I mean, there's a place for the standard run-of-the-mill playthrough where you load into Satanin, you do all the Satanin quests, and then you basically run around and let a slaughterfish chew on you for an hour and a half until you're a god, and then you blow through the rest of the game. I've done playthroughs like that. They have their place, but something like what you just described, where you have to scrape and just bust your butt for even a little smallest bit of progress, that sounds like a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm. I like it. It's the only way I can play is by having a specific goal for my character. It doesn't have to be extremely specific, but having a specific goal and restrictions. There's got to be restrictions. One of the most fun restrictions that I had was that I was not allowed to use any sort of transportation until I had actually walked to the place. That was the one rule I had. I was an explorer, and so I wouldn't take the first Sill Strider to whatever place. I had to go there, and then once I had been there, I could use a boat, a Sill Strider, or a guild guide to go there. It doesn't really make sense in terms of realism, but in terms of gameplay, that was quite fun, especially since I started in Dagenfell, and so I was at the very end of the world, and I had no money, no starting equipment, and my game was completely de-leveled as well, so I was surrounded by creatures up to level 100 as well, and just getting off the island where Dagenfell is took me hours and hours of challenge, and it was really, really fun. So restrictions, definitely need them in the game.
Well, I mean, if you don't have restrictions, it's basically how fast can I become a god?
It is. And then if you know where to grab a couple of really expensive items, and then you get training, and you're done. That's it. So it's not.
Oh, sure.
Fun.
Just go and steal some. Let's see. You can go and steal that stuff out of the Dren plantation. There's spoiler alert. There's fancy stuff at the Dren plantation.
Yeah.
You can go and steal some of that, or
Caldera, a
Go
full set
to
of
Ebenhart.
anti-shower.
There's a couple of nice bits you can find there, and then just abuse Creeper or the Mud Crab, and there you go. Train yourself to badassery.
Which is fun to do. It's fun to do a couple of times, finding, how quickly you can get rich and how quickly you can get super strong. But then what? It's like, what do you do next? Just go and kill all the gods and then go, well, I guess I'll go kill Vivek. And that's not fun to play. Didn't you do that every playthrough? You have to walk everywhere. I don't know that I would do it with every character. Like if I play a scout, then definitely. But anyway, like any sort of a restriction, you like the challenge, it definitely adds a challenge. Just not having to do all the quests. Fighters Guild, Mages Guild, Thieves Guild, Imperial Cult, Religion, like it's just too many things. But if you say, I'm a pure fighter, I'm a barbarian and I hate magic. I cannot stand magic unless it's ancestral magic because I respect my ancestors. And then all of a sudden you don't use spells, you don't use scrolls, and you need to find different ways to do what you would normally do with magic, for example. I had another question for you. Sorry, did you want to comment?
I was just going to say, one of the more memorable playthroughs I had recently, this was the character before the Bard I mentioned earlier, actually. I did not a pure warrior, I think I did a combination of I think he was a heavily armored thief kind of character, almost a rogue. I did in Murlord's character backgrounds, they have that one background where you can only use enchanted items, basically. I did that, and it was actually quite a challenge.
You can't cast any spells. That's the one?
There's a blacklist, or a whitelist, I think, where you can whitelist certain kinds of spells, but for the most part, you can't cast anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can
actually
use enchanted items, and it gives you a big boost to your enchant, but that's it.
Mm-hmm. I actually requested the whitelist because at the time, I changed the weather. It's to stop the rain. It's dark. I say, okay, let's go today, and it starts raining again. Typical. At the time, I was still using Melian teleportation mode, which I have here. And that one spell, Teleport Control, was the one you would use to recall your companions to you. And I was like, okay, so if I take the background, I forget the name of the background. It's not Enchanter. Is it just Enchanter?
I think
Artificer.
It's something fancy sounding, like Artificer or something.
And I was like, okay, I'm an Artificer, and all of a sudden I can't recall my companion, which is extremely useful because not every companion cover all scenario like yours. And then he added the whitelist, which is really good. But yes, the Artificer, I'm still waiting to do a proper run with the Artificer. That should be very much fun indeed.
It's actually more overpowered than you think, especially if you run something that starts out with high enchant, like a high elf. It doesn't take that much to get to the point where you use an enchanted item and it just sits at the charge. You can sit there and just cast spells with trinkets all day.
Mm-hmm. And then it depends if you have your enchantments modded. But if you don't, then you can create enchanted items, you can soul trap lots of things and make quite a bit of money from that as well. Lovely weather. I wanted to ask you...
You're just not having any luck with the... Oh, no, there you go. Yeah, the screen caught up. I see you got sunny skies.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Any mod that you would not play without, preferably some underrated mod. Things that people might not know, like me, and I'd like to know about.
Well, the one of the few mods I absolutely will not play without anymore. You're actually running it right now as the companion health bars.
Mm.
That should have been something that should have been part of the base game once they actually added companion functionality. Anyway, as far as obscure mods that I won't play without, well, I'm a big fan of Skip Tutorial. It's a much older mod. You probably use some form of it yourself, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm using Corel, which stands for character creation something, I guess. Cargen Revamped Extended Lands. That's the one I use. Which it gives you the option. I think you can see it there. You can skip the tutorial, so that's the quick beginning, and boom, you're in Satanin. But then I really like the random beginning, where you have the option to randomize where you start, randomize your attributes, randomize your skill values. Like you get a completely random character, and those are always fun to create and try to keep alive. Like you end up with the most improbable things. Like I had a Khajiit pirate in heavy armor, and there was something else weird who wanted to learn how to read or something like. And then you get that character where all the major and the minor skills are 5, 10, or 15, but you happen to be really good at, I don't know, athletics, and you go, okay, how did I get here, and where do I go from there? So I'm a big fan of a completely random character creation. It's a lot of fun.
That does sound a lot of fun. I catch myself power gaming a lot when I roll up characters nowadays. Most of my characters are kind of samey unless I'm doing some kind of specific playthrough. Like I'll do a pilgrim or something, one of the vanilla classes. But if I do a custom class, it always turns out to be about the same, with maybe 1 or 2 skill variations. I'll have to check that mod out. That actually sounds really neat. One other kind of obscure mod that I absolutely do not play with.
With or
Are you
without?
familiar with the mod called Corel's Interior Weather?
Yes.
I play with that all the time. Fantastic mod. Great immersion.
No, it's not here. I guess it's on the... Yeah, so when you're indoors, if it's raining, you can hear the rain as well. That's the one?
You can hear the rain, or if there's a blizzard or something like that. Yes, that's the one. I love that mod. It's a very small thing, but it makes such a difference.
I don't have it. Like, I know of it, and I've used it. There's a Corel. I was googling Curiel. I was using it, but now I'm using Abbott's Lightning mod, which is a lot of fun. Lightning, where essentially when the weather is stormy, can I see Abbott's? It's based off YAPH. It's basically the same thing. When there's a storm, there's a chance for you to actually be hit by lightning and get some extra damage, and that's a lot of fun. But the storms are super loud, so when there's a storm, I actually, like, my character is really motivated. What is it, guys? I see F in the chat. Is something happening? Easy, why the F? I don't think the stream is dead. Were you just sorry for... I don't know. Why the F? Tizzo, are you seeing the stream still? Oh, buffering.
It's kind of cycling between. It's the stream. My internet is really bad. I've basically been buffering for 90 greater than 90% of the time we've been talking. I'll refresh the. I'm sure this is something with my computer. I've been refreshing the screen, and I'll see maybe a minute to a minute and a half of what's actually going on, and then it'll start buffering.
All right. Okay.
But no, I'm not sure what was going on.
We're
there.
back. Okay. No.
Yeah.
People were getting buffering as well, but we're good. We're delayed so far. If you refresh, do you catch up? But anyway, yes, with the mod, not Jack's mod, but Abbott's, that adds the lightning. The storm is so loud that I just want to run indoors and I want the quiet. So I do not use Corel's more anymore. Though it is a really nice one, very immersive. You reloaded and not delayed now. Nice. Yeah, very nice one. It went down for me, but it's back now. Okay. I guess my internet felt a little tired, or yours. The internet in the whole world went down for a little bit, I guess. Is there a mod that you're particularly looking forward to, Tizzo?
Honestly, I don't really have anything right at the moment I'm looking forward to. I'm curious to see what else is going to be coming out for Modathon, because honestly, a lot of the mods that I've been waiting for have been updated for Modathon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's been a lot of really good mods that have had major updates this month. It's pretty exciting.
It's like they were. I don't remember how many mods were out the first day, but it was just absolutely crazy. And actually, I'm just sorry. I'm going towards my bull netches in game. I don't remember using a retexture for them, but they're very purple. And now I'm wondering if it's because I have not retextured them and that's how they look like in vanilla, or if I use a different texture and I don't remember which one it is.
Let's see. Let me refresh the stream again real quick.
I don't think it's just purple and pink tentacles. They were all blue, right?
Hold on. Let's see.
Oddly
Come on,
colored.
Twitch.
Okay.
You can do it.
Do it, Twitch. Their stomach is supposed to be blue. Okay, so I have a retexture.
Yeah,
going
that's
on.
retexture. You've definitely retextured those at some point.
Like I have 6 different installations of Morrowind on my game, and I like to have different looks for everything for each of them, so each one feels new and different. And then people say, "So what is that mod?" And I go, I can't always remember. And then I retextured that. That's a new look for the bull netches. Yes, there's been some crazy amount of mods for the Modathon. It's I wanted to find, I think, Reddit Morrowind. I think the Dark Elf guy's comment or post is pinned.
Let's see.
Their main Modathon. Right now, okay, the numbers are all kind of funny. I was hoping there's more than 100.
I see 121 in the list so far.
Yeah.
Not bad for halfway through the month.
That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. And there's, well, some smaller mods. Like my first one was really a small mod, but others are quite major, really. So yeah, and we still have 2 weeks to go. Zoom try to use Vibrant Morrowind as a base. I don't know many people that still use Vibrant Morrowind as a base. Most people nowadays use intelligent textures. Do you change the looks of your game, Tizzo? Do you mod the graphics as well?
Not as much as I used to. Here in the past few years, especially since things like intelligent textures and mods in that vein that basically upscale the vanilla textures.
Mm-hmm.
Since those have started coming out, I've pretty much turned into a stinky vanilla purist, really. Um, I'll use a few model replacers for things that are just really egregiously bad, um, like the rat model. Um, but for the most part, I have come to really appreciate the vanilla aesthetic because it's consistent.
It is.
I know back in the early aughts when I would mod the game, I'd be, wow, everything looks really cool. Especially this thing that I've modded in that looks nothing like anything else in the game. Like not even the same art style, and it's all shiny. Everything's kind of dull, and oh hey, there's a lightsaber. Well, that's really lore friendly.
Did
Thanks,
you mod a lightsaber in your game?
oh no, there was
Okay.
I used one that it actually kind of ties into the mods that you've been doing recently, the wares mods with all of the different clothes and weapon addition mods like Helva and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. There was a mega mod that came out. Oh God, I want to say it was like 2004 or 2005. It was that I can't even remember the name of it. It was that really big Balmora mod that had a little bit of everything in
Balmora
it.
expanded.
Balmora expanded. They had a weapon shop in there that had a cut rate lightsaber in it. I think it was basically a stick that had the kind of the flame effects from Hope's Fire
Mm-hmm.
running up and down it, and that was a Morrowind lightsaber at the time, and stuff like that.
Was it
So
Balmora expanded? Maybe I am misremembering it. There was a lot of things from Canadian Ice. So I like the armor using the Domina mesh, so large chest, tiny waist. But never mind, I used to love that mod. I mean, let's not kid ourselves, I used to love it. Even though Balmora was pretty much unplayable then because it was just so huge. The FPS was nasty. I'm looking for Canadian Ice. There we go. Balmora expansion. My bad. Balmora expansion. Balmora expansion. I am pulling it up on screen, so you might not see it. That doesn't really show any of it, but you're right. There were extra shops from the Metal Queen boutique, and there were the Knights from Jeremy. I used to like it, and yes, not lore friendly, but who cares? Who cares? Yeah, it's true. Nowadays, in the community, we're very much about vanilla aesthetics, lore friendliness, and when we mod things, we mod them to look like the concept art. So it looks like the community has gone pretty purist. You're right. We've all become stinky purists, apparently.
That's one of the things that actually bums me out a little bit. We have so much creativity in the modding scene nowadays, and we're doing amazing things, but you just don't see crazy go nuts mods like you'd see back in the day. Mindful, there was that one video, you know the one I'm talking about, where the guy's using the cardboard cutout dinosaur race thing,
Yeah.
making friends in Morrowind.
Mm-hmm.
That was what you used to see out of the modding scene, just the craziest stuff, and you don't see quite that crazy anymore.
No, I think we've outgrown that mostly. There were some funny and silly things like play as a tree, like all kinds of crazy things. Some of them were joke mods, but still the mug. Did you ever play as a mug? I didn't.
I actually never played the Mog mod. I'm familiar with the property. I was a big Final Fantasy fan when I was a teenager. Uh, I never particularly liked Mog. I mean, it was just like, oh, hey, it's the cutesy mascot character.
Yeah. Now, if there had been a Chocobo, maybe I would have considered it.
No, I'd absolutely have a Chocobo mod in my Morrowind 2 day.
Hmm.
I'd be all about it. I mean,
Next Beast Companion, Chocobo.
well, if there was a decent looking Chocobo model, I actually might consider it.
I don't think we ever had any model for that. If there's something, it's going to be oh crap, I'm not even typing. It's going to be on the Morrowind modding history. No. There's a modder called Mr. Chocobo, but no, nothing that adds a Chocobo. Become a cliff racer rider. Wouldn't that be cool? There was a dragon rider mod, a couple of them actually.
Well, let's see. There's a Dragon Rider mod, and oh god, what was that mod? There was there's been a couple of mods in that vein. There was a Daedric Glider mod that was
Oh, the glider.
let's see. There was a Dwemer and a Daedric version of that. I think one of them was included in one of the Dremora race mods that they made around. I want to say that it came out around 2010 or so, 2011, somewhere in that time frame.
I know a lot of mod, but I can't put a date on them. Like, let's not kid ourselves. And there was Lord of the Dragons by Mad Max, the author of Pegasus Ranch. So you could become Lord of the Dragon and ride a dragon as well. It's pretty cool. And then of course, yeah.
Did you summon the dragons by tap dancing?
I would like that. Lord of the Dance merged in Morrowind. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't know that would work, but I loved the Lord of the Dance. Loved it. Every once in a while I watch the how was it? The river dance. Still makes me emotional. I remember the Dwemer glider. In fact, I believe I've got it set up for my next install. I need to try it again because it was fun at the time, but I don't know. Maybe playing it nowadays, it would feel a little too clunky. So we'll have to test that again. Zabitu, you say like make your own categories in your inventory. Wouldn't that be nice? That would be very nice. For now, the best we have.
That would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. It would be really nice. The guys were talking about it in the MGE channel. So that's something a lot of people would like. Maybe. In fact, you know what? Inventory and UI in particular might be the one aspect of modding where Open Morrowind has the advantage, because we were looking at it last time, and now I'm not going to Morrow UI, was it? Yes, Weatherbear made a very, very sexy UI for Morrowind, actually for Open Morrowind. And in fact, it takes inspiration from Skyrim. So you have I have it on my screen. I don't know if you can see it, but you have the 3D render of the item that you're viewing, just like in Skyrim. You see the icon of the item, and then the name of the item, and then its value, its weight. You get all kinds of information. It's very, very good. It's the one mod Open Morrowind has that I would like to have. but I cannot.
No, if I remember correctly, he basically had to do a branch of the executable. But yeah, I'm seeing that, and that does look amazing.
It looks really cool. I would love that. Just that. And it's not that it adds categories, it's the same, right? Weapons, armor, clothing, consumable, ingredients, scrolls. Actually, no, there's extra categories. Because in Morrowind, we get consumable all together. And it's got the ingredients and... No, we have them separated. Consumable is potions and scrolls. Oh, I mod my game too much. Now I forgot. Because even what I have here is a result of a Null Cascades mod, I'm pretty sure. So yeah. Zabi, you're using Skyrim UI mod for Open Morrowind. Is that the one that makes the UI black?
Pardon me for just a moment. I'll be right back.
No problem. Is it this one? Skyrim UI overhaul for Morrowind? UI expansion changes the categories. Good. You use Open Morrowind for VR. I have to give it a try. If you have any hint, what is the best way to set up Open Morrowind? I'm on the Oculus Quest 2. So if you have any useful hint, let me know, because I have to try. I just haven't taken the time to set it up. Zero Fox was talking the other day about being in Morrowind VR and just looking around, like having fun, just looking around basically. So yes. So I see it this way, Skyrim UI. I know a lot of people use it, but I think you need to love Skyrim a lot to enjoy it. And for me, I like the default color of Morrowind, that brown, light brown. So I prefer either vanilla or the one that I have right now. The colors are the textures are a little cleaner, a little sharper, but at least the palette is the same. So I quite like that. What about you guys? What is the mod that you're looking for or waiting for? Just need to be patient. It will happen. But which one is it? Is it the inventory we were talking about, or is there something else that you would really love to see in your game? You're very blue. Lady, that's just too blue. You don't really like Skyrim, but you like this UI. You know what? That's perfectly fine. That's the whole point of modding, to make the game into something that you like even more than the default one. There's a lot of niches around here. Kill moves. Oh, that would be very, very nice. I mean, we do have some... Oh, hello, Rolly. Sorry, I get distracted quickly. We do have some options. Hey, Rolly. Look.
Oh, are you by Raleigh?
Yeah.
Raleigh actually has commentary on the companions.
Ooh. Anything to say about my Pagua? Rolly seems a bit flustered and nervous, all things considered. Really? But look, Tetra is so tiny and cute. That's actually something we didn't really mention, that NPCs, depending on where you are and which companion you have, will have will have tidbits to say, reactions and comments on your pets.
I'm sure, I can't remember his name. Raleigh's owner, what's his name there?
No, that's Rolly. No. See? Big Guar.
The giant Guar bounding box strikes
Yeah.
again.
Terrace. What do you think of my Pagwar? A Pagwar can't hold a candle to my Rolly. He's a real beast of burden. That little one there just can't seriously compete. Too small. But there's nothing quite like a Guar, is there? Especially once you get into the really rugged parts of the backcountry. Yes. I would love a mod that makes Rolly a companion. It's just so heartbreaking when you do the quest and Rolly just stay there in front of Vivek forever. What do you think of pack rats? A pack rat can't hold a candle to my Rolly. Okay, his opinion is similar. Just Rolly is the best. Rolly master race.
Rolly is the best.
Rolly is the best. She's very cute. And she's doing the head animation thing. You're stuck, aren't you? Yeah, you're twitching. Okay. I won't. What's the other one? Corky. There's also Corky. Where am I? This is Vivek. I'll go and find Corky in a bit. Zoomtra, you're saying better animation and AI? Well, wouldn't it be amazing if we suddenly had smart NPCs? That would be quite the dream. And yes, kill move. You were talking about kill move. We have a couple of alternatives. Going towards the farm where Corky is now. I have to see Corky. And I think Corky is around here, right? That farm over there. Hopefully I'm not mistaken.
Corky, he's kind of over towards
Pelagiad, right?
What is it? I think so. Somewhere around in there. Like if you let's see, if you COC to Pelagiad and then kind of go to the right of the fort towards the Dren plantation, he's somewhere around there, I think. Though I can't actually remember if I gave Corky any commentary. I don't think you can actually really talk to Corky that much.
No, you can't. You can't activate. Behind Pelagia, down the hill. This is the one that has ties to the twin lamp. It's that one on the other side. And while I get soaked, my pets do the smart thing and water walk. They're fighting for me, that's fine, they'll be okay. They're endurable mod.
They'll warp to you eventually, I think. You've got the thing set, right?
Yep. I can't lose them. You can't lose those companions. They're like I've said it on stream a few times. Here's Corky. Yeah, you can't activate Corky. What do you think? No, Rolly is Tetra is not really interested in Corky. That's just the way it is. That is just the way it is. I was gonna talk about kill moves. We still have available Morrowind Enhanced that had Combat Enhanced, where essentially when using a longsword, for example, you had a combo. So if you did a slash and a thrust, you would do a combo and deal extra damage, or slow down the enemy, or chop their head off. I really loved that mod. Have you ever used it, Tizzo? Any of the Morrowind Enhanced?
Combat. I actually used Morrowind Enhanced quite a lot. It was a lot of fun. The implementation was extremely janky, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. One of my favorite things to do was I would summon like a Daedric longsword or something, and there was this one move where you would thrust the sword and it would break off in your opponent and deal a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then just let the summon run out and then summon it and then do it again.
Yeah, it was really fun. If there could be anything like it done today, I would be so happy. That for me that was just the right amount of not Dark Souls level that if you don't have the skill you can't fight, and so well, too bad for you. But then not as boring as Morrowind combat can be, because you can just, click and you do that. So I like that, because when fighting, you could actually, like, you were thinking, so okay, I'm gonna do that attack and then that attack, and like you know, you were thinking during the fight, other than just go click, 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 run, 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 heal, 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 click, click, click. So I really, really like that.
It was a really fun mod. To be honest with you, once we started really getting into the more complicated Lua mods, I thought for sure that there would be somebody that would implement something along those lines. Now, Axe Magister, he's been doing a lot of really interesting mods, kind of in that vein. Maybe someone will... Actually, now that we've mentioned it, maybe somebody will go and, hey, I could do that.
I don't know. I really don't know. We have next-gen combat that is interesting in the way that, depending on your weapon and depending on your skill, when you attack, a number of things can happen automatically. I really like the blunt weapon, for example. Depending on your skill, you get a % chance to stun your enemy for a second. Which, you know, like in combat, you go, yeah, he's stunned. That gives me time to drink a potion, cast a spell, run, panic, whatever. So it brings an event in combat. The others, that would basically do more damage one way or the other. And it sort of happens automatically. So it's nice because you get the message that said, you inflict bleeding damage, and you go, okay, cool, I did that. But you don't plan your attacks, really. So it's not enough for me. Like, I need a little more. And then Axe, I have tested the 4NM mods quite a bit, and 4NM Combat, which is now part of the total gameplay overhaul, really, really takes things to the next level. For example, did you know? I had no idea. Of course, you already know that when you have your weapon is going to inflict different damage depending on how you attack. So there's a slide, there's a thrust, and there's that. Okay. And I know that. So before fighting, I go, okay, with that one, I really should be going one way or the other. But you can actually, if I go, there we go, like I did a thrust attack, but then I moved immediately to the side. And so with 4NM, I'll pull up the 4NM combat because it has more information. With 4NM combat and the gameplay overhaul, essentially based on your movement, whether you're going forward, backwards, or side to side, you have what Axe call fighting stances. And so if you're moving forward when attacking, you have higher chance of doing crit damage. If you're moving side to side, you have higher chance to dodge. If you're going backwards, you take less damage. But then I was like, but Axe, you know, if I have a spear that is really good with thrust attack, I'm not going to be moving side to side with my spear because I will have some dodge, but I won't deal any damage. And that's when he told me, well, you can move, say you press A to move to the side and attack, and then W to go forward while you execute the attack. Now that is too much for my brain. Like in combat, it goes really quick, and I don't have the time. It might be just me. Like I'm guessing somebody who's actually a good gamer is able to do that. Many people do that with 4NM, but for me, I don't have time to plan my attacks and then execute them and then see that I succeeded. Whereas with the much older combat enhanced, I could say, okay, now I'm moving side to side because I want to do a slash attack. So we have options. One is outdated and janky. One is nice, next gen combat, but doesn't really make combat as active as I would want it. and then 4NM, where you need to be pretty good at fighting and playing the game in general. So yeah, I still hope for a nice combat mod. Jaxlor, is there a mod Tamriel Rebuilt? Yes, there is a mod Tamriel Rebuilt. I don't have it on this install, I don't think. I don't, but I can still kind of show you. This is Morrowind. Oh yes, I do have. This is Tamriel Rebuilt. That part is completely done with cities, NPCs, plants, creatures, quest. And they're building the other half of Morrowind, because all of that is Morrowind and this is Vvardenfell. And they're building that part. That part is already built. It has all the exteriors and some of the interiors as well. It's called Tamriel Rebuilt Preview. And you can download it and take a look at it. But that part is fully playable. Firebrand, I use it, but mine an outdated snapshot. Hey, Firebrand, hello. Of Tamriel Rebuilt. I see no reason to not update it. More content. The whole region here is new. Thoughts on Tamriel Rebuilt, Tizzo? Do you use it yourself?
I actually do not. I've never even gone into any of the Tamriel Rebuilt content. I know I'm missing out. The screenshots I see look really amazing. I guess the big problem is most of the mods I use are all just kind of centered on Vvardenfell district, and if you go into the Tamriel Rebuilt content, then the support's just not there.
That's something. What is it, guys? Oh, sorry, my companions are taking on a Quama Forager. I feel quite safe. Guys, it's a Quama Forager. Kill it.
Are they in durable mode?
Oh yes, they are, of course.
They're going to be fighting that Quama Forager till the end of time. Or until the Forager gets tired, whatever comes first.
I took care of it. I could do that myself. The thing is, like, I have TR installed, but I have explored. Okay, I have explored 1, 2, maybe 3% of Tamriel Rebuilt, and the reason for that is because, like, even Vvardenfell, I think maybe I've explored 60% of the base game. I've done the Tribunal, almost done the Tribunal once. I've done Blood Moon once. Like, it's kind of hard for me to go to Tamriel Rebuilt and say, okay, let's find out what's there. Like, I know there's still so much for me to do there, especially with the mods. And then what you were saying with the lack of support, it's like from the get-go, that was something that annoyed me. And that's why wares comes into play. Like, I would go to a city in Tamriel Rebuilt and I would talk to all the people and there would be a shop and I go, yes, let's see, you know, it's a new place, new people, new plants, new creatures, new stuff, right? And I'd go in there and they'd have a chitin armor, an iron armor that looks a little different, but I was like really disappointed. And then Tamriel Rebuilt has all kinds of items, but apparently there's like an invisible frontier between TR and Vvardenfell. And there's no trade, like they're not connected at all. So like from, I think, most of my item mods, I try to bring the modded content that is in Vvardenfell to be also available when you're in Tamriel Rebuilt, and then conversely to have all the stuff available in, to a lesser extent obviously, but to have all the stuff that's available in Tamriel Rebuilt to a lesser extent available also on Vvardenfell. So that's something that I've been trying to do with my mods, because it doesn't make sense that it's almost like two different worlds when you can swim between one and the other.
Well, that's something that I mean, back in the day when Tribunal and Blood Moon first came out, that same situation existed.
Mhm.
They were part of the same game world. Well, kind of, sort of, in Tribunal's case, but nothing from one mod would show up in the other mod or in the vanilla gameplay space. So, I mean, you look at Soul Simon, it's right there. I mean, you could swim to it. It'll take you a long time, and you'll be fighting slaughterfish the entire way, unless you're smart. And yeah, so there was no interplay between any of the content, and it for the longest time until you've started with the wares thing. I mean, there were attempts before that were kind of all right, but yeah,
Helluva was the
none of
first thing to
anything
do
would
that.
play.
Yeah, and for me, it really breaks immersion. Necro has expansion integrated, and I think he took basically what Dragon did a long, long time ago, where the creatures, like where the stuff from Tribunal and Blood Moon is integrated into Vardenfell. So you can see Tribunal weapon, armor, ingredient, creature, same thing for Blood Moon. So we have mods that alleviate that to some extent. Let me catch up with the chat. Zoomtra, my favorite content mod is the Illuminated Order. It's one of my favorite quest mods. And I know it's one of my favorite quest mod because it's one of the few that I've played till the very end. That and Rain of Fire are the two quest mods that I really completed. Have you played either of those, Tizzo?
I did play the Illuminated Order back in the day. I did it on. I was running a Khajiit Battle Mage at the time. I know it sounds like a weird character class combination, but it actually worked pretty well. I did a lot more hitting stuff than I did casting spells, but it was nice. I actually went through the Illuminated Order quest line all the way to the end on that character. Sacrificed pretty much all of my Daedric items. That was one thing that really annoyed me about the end game of that quest and that mod in general was if you want the fancy Lich upgrade, well, all that really nice Daedric stuff that you got, you know, all the things like the Spear of Bitter Mercy and Mace of Molag Ball and all of that. Well,
your favorite toys, basically.
yeah, my favorite toys, basically. It's like, yeah, you have to give those up. And in return, you get a Lich transformation. And I'm like, cool. I can use the Lich transformation on my Battle Mage. And as it turns out, since I was playing a Beast Race, I got basically a vampire skin.
Mm.
Yeah, you know, and a lot of power-ups, but it wasn't nearly as cool as I was hoping for.
To be honest, when I did the Illuminated Order, I did the quest and I became a leech, and I was like, okay, but I'm ugly, so I'm going to reload now. So I didn't want to. I didn't want to be a leech. I didn't want to be ugly. I'm a very shallow and vain player, it would seem. But Zumtra, I assume you're already aware that Mort updated the Illuminated Order?
I'm sorry, excuse me again for one moment.
No problem, go ahead. And so if you want to play Illuminated Order, if you've never tried it, go straight to that version. There's some improvements. It's more lore friendly as well. You still get to become a leech. It's better. It's improved. So go for that one. Illuminated Order is a quest mod, and basically you find a necromancer and then you learn about necromancy. It's quite a long quest mod with quite a lot of content. It's really, really good. If you play with TR, I recommend using the mods Tribunal Rebalance, of course, Zumtra. That's also by Mort. And I believe his Tribunal, Blood Moon, and Sixth House Rebalance have become pretty much stable and recommended for everyone. Honestly, like if you look, I'm looking at Mort's mod, and Now, you would think I have not downloaded this one. It's not true. I have the beta version that Mod sent me. So I have this one. See, I've used or I'm using most of his mods. Not this one though. Funny, I didn't take this one. I don't know why. I don't know why. I guess I was afraid. Like I am quite close to my characters. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have the pointy things coming out in any shape or form. So yes, mods rebalance, pretty much any of Mort's mod you want to have. They're very cool. He's updated Mule recently as well, so that's super cool. And he's added, oh, he doesn't have the change log. There it is. He has not updated the change log. Or maybe he hasn't updated it on the Nexus. Maybe it's my bad. If not, keep an eye. No, indeed. 3rd of May. Yeah, maybe that is the updated version where you have skill decay, just like it was in the good old Galcia character development. So yes, and about Tamriel Rebuilt, that wouldn't be something TR would ever make themselves, though, I don't think. To make things, no. The goal of Tamriel Rebuilt is to rebuild Tamriel in a lore-friendly manner, the same way it would have come if it had been shipped with the game. Originally, though, they've made some concession. Originally, the Mages Guild, for example, you had the mainland Mages Guild and you had the mainland Fighters Guild, and then finally they decided to make it one and the same. But before, even the factions were different factions, and that bothered me. I like my game to be coherent. I like things to work together. Again, that is one of the reasons why. Oh, sorry. Why wares was important. I want to play. I forgot. What did we say the game is called? I forgot, but I'm playing it. Leapfrog. I play Leapfrog with my companions. That's the way it is. And Zabitu, today, no, we're not playing Morrowind really, because Tizzo, who made those 3 companions, is on voice with us and telling us about the mod, and we're just talking about mods. But normally I do play and mod. It depends what I really want to do at the time. And it's true that this month with the modathon, I really want to mod, and it's not just the modathon, it's just I have let's do what? There is, I am trying to make a nice fresh install of Morrowind. So Geobe is what I play on Thursday. Modding is where I mod. Perma is the one that I'm building. Showcase is the one I'm using when I showcase mod. Vanilla is empty. Perma is the one that I'm currently using. And essentially, as I'm making this mod list and installing mods, and I go, oh, but I need this, oh, but I need that, and then I start modding. And then after months of modding, I look at my half-done install and I go, well, now hang on, half of these mods have been updated. I might as well start over. How do you mod? Are you programming? No. I mean, you can mod by programming, especially with, you can use Lua nowadays. But to mod, you use the tool provided by Bethesda. For Morrowind, it's the construction set. For Skyrim, it's the creation studio. Is that what it is? And you see, basically, you load your base game, and then you can go ahead and modify things. So you can add items, you can add NPCs, modify things, create dialogue. You can script a number of things as well. But that is not my strong suit, for sure. Not my strong suit. But we're not modding right now. No, sorry, we are not. So
I'm back.
right.
What did I miss?
We were talking about Tamriel Rebuilt, and then we were talking about some of Mort's mods. Creation Kit, thank you, Del Shadow. Not Creation Studio. And then somebody asked how we mod, and so I showed the construction set. And that was pretty much it.
Oh, nothing too terrible. Then.
No. In fact, I'm thinking that I'm starting to get quite hungry. So is there anything else concerning your mods, concerning Morrowind, anything at all that we haven't mentioned that we should?
No, we've been pretty thorough today.
I think we have.
Let's see. Yeah, I did need to go ahead and do that today. So I was planning on releasing Kolka a little early. I got the achievement for releasing on the 16th with Tetra last year. So, well, actually, you're a little more familiar with the way Modathon's working this year than I am. Is what is it? The Ides of May or whatever the achievement is? Is that Friday and Saturday, or is that just Saturday?
It's for the 15th, so tomorrow. However, Dark Guy is quite loose, so basically it starts from midnight on the 5th, like, 1 minute past midnight on the 15th, anywhere in the world, and it finishes to 11:59 Friday anywhere in the world. So instead of having a 24-hour window, it's like you have a 30 or 40-hour window. So he's not extremely because time zones. So as long as it's midnight for you, you're sure that it's good. But essentially it can be a little early on today. Today is the 14th, right? Yeah. It could be tonight, or it could be Sunday morning. It's not gonna make a difference.
I may wait a little later in the day though, but be watching the Nexus. I'll be releasing Kolka at some point, either in the late afternoon or the evening.
Good. So anyone who wants Paxon, the best pack rack. Paxon is the best pack rat available, full stop, for sure. If you want Paxon, you can already find him on the Nexus. He's been there for 3 years. 3 years? Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, if you want Tetra, she's also... No, you Kolka. Tetra. She's there as well. And she's super cute. Is she the best Gwar? She's possibly one of the very best Gwar that doesn't use Lua. I am partial to Melchior's Gizmo. Gizmo is quite cute.
Gizmo's amazing. That's
adorable.
A really good mod.
It's just adorable. And the fact that you need to do a little bit of quest to have access to some features is nice. But coming back to the star of the day, Kolka will be available basically sometimes this weekend.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Is this animal carrying items for you? Yes, they all carry items, even the wolf, but obviously the pack creatures are going to carry a lot more. What is the best companion mod in your opinion? Well, I'll just say Paxon is the best pack rat. For Open Morrowind, Tetra is the best pack Gwar. And it depends what you want, really, in a companion. There's a number of them. If you look at my mod list, there's a number of beast companions. So you use Open Morrowind, so there's those are the ones you want, definitely. The new Cloak mod is called YAPH. Has been working on those cloak for a while, and they look so much better than the sort of stiff, I don't know, the old mods that we had with cloaks. You know what, they were what they were. The new one, they're quite nice. I don't know if they're completely physiqued, but they're still pretty good. I just want to stuff my companions with item. They will do exactly that. And follow you and save your life occasionally. Tizzo, thank you so much for spending a couple of hours with us and telling us everything about your companions, your beast companion mods.
Thank you for having me. It's been really delightful to talk with you about this and things in general, really.
It's easy to talk about Morrowind and mods for a couple of hours until hunger strikes. There's that. Anyhow, anytime, okay? I think at some point, especially if you plan on updating some of your house mods, there would talk about maybe the Pelagia Tower.
Yes, I have been intending to update that. There's a couple little things about it that have been bothering me. I actually started using that mod again a while back, and yeah, there's one or two little things. I might as well bring some other stuff up to snuff too. So be looking for an update for that in the coming months.
Nice. I'll be looking forward.